Pride precedeth the fall. I know you've all heard that statement. Everybody's heard that. In my day, I told my people, I told my country, we are afflicted with this terrible war because we have become prideful. Now that's a subject worth time traveling for. I said, our unbroken success has led us to this moment of pride. Now here you guys are, America, trapped in a little bit of your pride. Back in the Old Testament days, well, maybe in the New Testament days as well, sackcloth and ashes was the remedy for pride. No one's really above that particular temptation, malady, problem, difficulty, however you call it. The prophets say we can attempt to humble ourselves, and in fact, some prophets say some people will attempt to humble themselves no matter what circumstance they may be in. I suppose there are those level-headed people who know that one of the great keys to unhappiness is pride. Everything goes awry when we are prideful. We start defending a position that is undefendable. We start trying to justify things that we have done that we know are going to bring us misery, but we can't seem to get ourselves to humble ourselves enough to say, shouldn't have done that. So I would argue that it's not exactly the mistake that gets us in trouble. The world is just full of fluid, moment-to-moment changes. New things coming at us from moment to moment. And so we make mistakes. The problem arises when we say, oh, I didn't make that mistake. Or maybe anyone would have made that mistake. Or I just made that mistake because. But all those are part of the key of unhappiness. So, can a country do that? Can a country say, I made a mistake. Maybe I should have done this. Or can a country say, maybe I made a mistake. Or can a country say, I don't know if I made a mistake. Maybe I better think about this. Or do we get prideful and say, no, I'm sure I couldn't have made a mistake. I got this. Just imagine if America were to say, my enemy at the moment, I'm sorry I got into this little fracas with you. Or maybe suppose it was a big fracas. And then we said, I'm sorry I got into this big fracas with you. So then we say, my apologies. Let's see if we can rethink this. But in the lives of individuals, as well as families, I suppose cities, but I think it shows up in countries quite a bit. We say, oh, I've done so much, and there has been so much invested, and I've gone so far down this road, I can't switch. I can't go back. I can't apologize. I can't repent. So here we are at this beautiful lake and this incredible sunset. And hopefully, this is not America's sunset. Hopefully, this is not the world's sunset. But according to the Bible, in the last days, in the days of great destruction, there will be a time when the love of men will wax cold. When we look back in history and we see civilizations that have gone down, we look for those signs, the patterns. What made them go down? And I think we'd probably find that all those civilizations had gotten pretty wrapped up in pride. I can't change. I can't be different than this. I didn't make a mistake. Everything is just fine. Or maybe everything's not just fine, but it's not my fault, and I'm not going to change. So as my video gets a little bit darker here, as the light runs out, I would say, I hope that all of you, all my fellow Americans, and people everywhere will start thinking, how do I find me some sackcloth and ashes? So now when I say, God bless my fellow Americans, God bless my fellow believers throughout the world, I don't mean this in the trite way that I'm afraid I sometimes say it. I mean, God bless my fellow Americans. God bless believers. And especially God bless my non-believer friends everywhere.